Okay, class, we're going to continue working with our processing unit. We finished up last time looking at some shapes and variables and things of that nature. So the PowerPoint presentation that we're going off of is found on my website underneath CSP schedule. It's shapes, variables, loops, functions, animations, and arrays. And that's what we were working on last time. So just a quick little recap through this. Processing is a great platform to draw basic shapes, colors, and animations. It takes a lot of the head work out of it. You don't need a compiler, and it's a fun platform to just get started with some basic type coding instead of the block-based system that you're used to. So we made some basic shapes last time. A shape is defined as a function or a method. So we have a rectangular method here that takes in parameters, and then the parameters are what falls between the parentheses here. So we have the x and y coordinates of the first point, which is going to be the top left-hand corner of that rectangle, and then we have the length and width of that rectangle. And when we draw an ellipse, if you want to envision a circle being drawn inside this rectangle, that would be the ellipse. So if you put ellipse here, with those dimensions, it would fall right inside that box there. So we've got a quadrilateral, a triangle, basic shapes here. We did some ellipses, some arcs, and I showed you a resource here to help you with the arcs. Just real quick to bounce back to that in case you forgot where that's at. Under resources, there should be this processing radians and degree measurements. That would be helpful for you to determining arcs. Okay, so colors are RGB values. We did a little bit of that as well. We're on stroke weight. So we're going to get down here to stroke weight. So stroke weight is basically the line that you're drawing your shape with. It's the width of that line that you're drawing the shape with. So as we increase stroke weight, we will see that the line gets thicker. So let's open up our processing platform and get started on that. Now mine's in my downloads still, so I'm going to go there and find that out of my downloads. And processing. Mine is located right there. So I'm going to open that thing up. And it takes a second to kick on. But we're going to be working with stroke weight today and stroke color to start us off. So you can identify the color that you want as well as the width of that color. So we're going to be working on that a little bit today. Let's see if we can get our processing open. All right, so here's our processing. It's ready to get started. Here's our window that we code within. And so let's get started here. We need to have a void setup. And inside there, we need to have a size for our window. Let's say it's 500 by 500. Now in our draw method, we can start drawing some shapes. Let's say we do this ellipse here that's identified at 75, 60, 90, 90, and then let's mess with the stroke weight for that. Oh, sorry, here. Let's draw that shape. And it's right there. So you can see that the stroke weight is pretty narrow on that one. Let's make it a little bit thicker. So before you draw the line, you'll need to identify the weight in which you draw the line with. So your stroke weight would need to be done before you draw your shape. And then let's put that at 8 and see what happens there. So you can see that it thickens that line there. Pretty cool. And I'm going to minimize this and keep moving through. Stroke color. So it's also an RGB value, the 3 red, green, and blue variations to create your color. So let's try that. and that is just stroke with your color. So I'm going to do that here for this shape as well. So stroke weight was 8. Stroke is going to be, I'm going to make it red, R, G, B. So now then it should be, oh, stroke has an E on there. So now then I've said that the weight of the line is going to be 8 pixels and the stroke of it is going to be red. So it should be a red circle drawing, no fill in the middle. Okay. And you can mess with that a little bit by changing the RGB values to get different colors there as well. So here's an alien, they call it Ruba, and its coding I believe is right here. We can actually grab that and try it out. I'm just going to copy that and put that right into here. I may overlay some of that original ellipse. I can take that out if I want to. So when we run this, you'll see this little character pop up. It doesn't look like the example down here. It's because my stroke weight was still defined for my previous coding. So we need to realize that that stroke weight of 8 is affecting that the drawing. I also had to take a line of code where it was right here setting up the size 200 by 200. I already identified the size previous to this in my setup right here, so it was having an issue with 2 different sizes. So if I want to take and eliminate something in my code without erasing it, I can do 2 forward slashes like that and it comments it out. So let's run this again. We should see that our Aruba looks a little different now. It looks more like the example there. Okay, so that's your little robot, and you can see how it is drawn there. Your job and assignment today is to produce a yin-yang sketch. Here are the specifications for that assignment. Make a sketch the size 400 by 400. So the window, when we operate this, it's going to be 400 by 400. So let's kind of mess with that to see what that looks like. 400 by 400. It's a little smaller than what we had last time, but nonetheless, it should be a perfect square, 400 pixels by 400 pixels. Perfect. And the yin-yang itself should be 200 by 200. So this will take up half of the window size. You need to use ellipses and arcs, and we need to write yin-yang on the screen using this text. So I can actually copy this piece right here, and I will put that into my code and show you what that does. So I can put that anywhere here, run that. Well, it may need me to retype in my quotations. So I don't know if I need quotations. Maybe I do. Sorry about that. I had a little bit of an issue here. When I had this background 255, what was happening is it was overwriting on top of my text, which I wanted you to have there was yin yang. So the way to do the text is you put in text is the method, and inside the parentheses are the parameters. The first parameter is what you want it to say. So in quotations, type out yin yang, comma, and this is your x coordinate and then your y coordinate for where that text will start. So we'll go 300 over on the x, 30 down on the white, and then we'll type the text yin yang. You should see that here pop up. Yin yang right there. Okay, so that's your job, is to produce this particular design, this yin yang design, on a 400 by 400 size window. The yin yang itself will be 200 by 200.